what he's about to do.
He's not going to be able to function after this, but
that's fine. Whoa!
It's like a shotgun. Through a coffee.
Oh yeah. I'm a little teapot, short.
Welcome to Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're here about wrestling, y'all.
Yeah, it's about now we're gonna get to the wrestling.
I'll tell you right now. Right now, it feels like the Todd and Joe morning show.
He's feeling it.
Yes. Where there is no Dana, only
Zoom.
Puma. Oh, sorry.
So
not playing.
Not playing.
The shirts are awesome. We're Drew and I get to be sad because we weren't invited to the Ghostbuster shirt party, but it's fine. It's fine.
I'm okay. My hat has a pocket, so we're good.
Yeah.
And I have a nice robe that Joe bought me.
True. It is nice.
Anyways, so let's talk about wrestling this week. We can talk about SmackDown, but most of it led into Money in the Bank. But what didn't lead in, what the most important thing that happened on it was DIY. DIY finally getting their titles. Finally getting their flowers. DIY is awesome. I love both of those dudes. And it is about time. I mean, if you watch it back, you even see Tommaso Ciampa look up and say, it's about fucking time. It's true. So,
well, they had to give Gargano the championship because they're going to be in Cleveland.
Oh. Yeah, but who cares about Cleveland?
I do, this guy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like you reside there or something.
I wish I did, but I don't. I know people are like, what would you like to do with your vacation? Live in Cleveland. Let's go there forever. All right, sorry, go on. We're here about wrestling.
Forever and ever?
No, it's good. So, again, most of SmackDown led into Money in the Bank. Joe.
All right, so I got 7 winners and 3 losers from this year's Money in the Bank. All right. So our first winner, let's give it a little round of applause for the Invisible Man himself. Woo! You can't see me. John Cena kind of announced his retirement.
Yep.
He announced his retirement tour.
Farewell. 2025.
So I've heard conflicting reports, but I originally heard WrestleMania is going to be his last match. Now it seems like it's going to go all the way through 25. It'll be his last WrestleMania match. This WrestleMania will be.
Yes.
So big match, John. And honestly, dude, it was touching. And the more I think about it, the more I tend to agree. He may have not been my favorite wrestler of all time, but the dude is kind of the fucking GOAT.
Yes.
And I've been seeing a lot more promo or like TikToks and reels and stuff of like compilations of his best promos, best matches. And oh man, he really is big match, John. And the people he's put over, like, give the dude his flowers. And I like the fact it's a retirement tour, that he's announcing it now so he can have a whole year. And I like how he said the last time is now. And anybody who wants it, come and get it. We are going to see some hopefully classic fucking finales to a lot of feuds and shit. I'm pumped.
Drew, you okay, man? Is everything all right over there in Drew
I'm great. I'm great. It's Tuesday. We're talking about wrestling.
Drew's acting like he's the one that showed Todd a trick.
Ew.
All right, the next winner we have is the Bloodline. It was an interesting match.
It was okay.
I thought there would be a little bit more to it. I thought we may have seen the return of Roman, seeing even Paul Heyman watching ominously from afar, something to further it on besides the Bloodline cheat a little bit and fucking Solo pins Cody, which kind of to me is like, all right, are we going to start that feud now? Lead them into SummerSlam? I don't know. It kind of felt weird knowing where they're going. I have to say, for the Samoan Werewolf's first WWE match, I was impressed with the man.
Oh yeah.
I love how everybody essentially is treating him like he's the fucking Tasmanian devil, like ready to kill everybody. Like, and it's not like I believe it more with Jacob Fatu than what they did with like Gunther, like made like Gunther into this like unbeatable guy. And I'm like, yeah, he looks like he may be related to Drago, but like that's about it. I don't know. And then our next winner, and so this article says he's a winner. I'm gonna call him a big fat loser, but that would be El Campeon, Damian Priest. This whole match, it pretty much happened, except for the end, how I foresaw it happening. Now, from interviews and everything I've read in the last couple days, it seems like the reason that 1, 2, 3 count happened was because Priest was legitimately possibly unconscious at that moment. So, like, when I was watching the thing with Bubba Ray, he's like, if you rewatch it and you look, the ref is like about to hit 3 and Damian hasn't kicked out, but the first thing you see him do is like move his fingers like this, which is a normal thing that happens after you got knocked out. So at least that can be a little bit forgivable, but he was missing his spots big. And like Garrett said before we started recording, I hate bitching about botches and shit. Usually I don't give a fuck. But it almost looked like he like forgot everything he was supposed to do in that match. And then we had Drew had won Money in the Bank earlier in the night. We'll talk about that in a minute. And like he promised, he cashed in. And just like we all thought it was going to happen.
We all saw it coming from a mile away.
The best
we could write it.
In. But, and I know Drew's going to address this a little bit later on. That's what I'm saying. It does set things up. Okay. So I was not impressed with Damian Priest at all. But on the flip side, it's Tiffy time. It's truly Tiffy time, guys. She is our Miss Money in the Bank. The match had some pretty epic spots on there.
Yeah.
We all know how like petrified Chelsea is about heights, like, and still making her to compete in this match. Really, come on, WWE. Like, she has a phobia. Like, can't she get some kind of reasonable accommodation? You're supposed to be a professional workplace, but she still climbed that ladder. And the spot she took out of the ring through the table, that was a big spot. And I love how later that night on social media, she's like tweeting out, like, I might never walk again. Like, just leading into the thing. I really wish she would have won. Like, she's got to get something soon. So she has to get something soon. And, like, but the match was great. There's some botches that happened earlier on in the match, and I don't know if it was nerves because for most of them, actually, I want to say it was their first Money in the Bank match, and you could see a little bit of nerves, but they really kind of came into their own, and I'm cool with being Tiffy time, you know.
The match started rough but finished strong for sure.
100%.
It was one of my favorite matches.
Drew will get more into Punk in a little bit. The new post show. How did you guys feel about that?
Didn't watch it.
Drew got all crazy.
Dude, it was a lot like after NFL games, and that's That's when Drew went nuts, running in there, ripping it up, elbowed Adam Pearce in the face. You had fucking Solo, had the headphones and mic on, looked like he just got off the field. It was a cool feel. It was better than like talking smack or raw talk or anything. You know?
I was literally about to say that it like you said, it's the sports shift from the talk show to that. So I'm in. I liked it actually.
Yeah,
well, they got somebody on for SmackDown from ESPN, don't they? I don't remember what the name is, but
that was announced today. Then we'll talk about some of the losers, like Braun Breaker. You've hyped him up, even though you've made him this unstoppable force, and I'm glad Sammy still has the belt. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but you made Braun look almost undefeatable, and then our man, the fucking redheaded stepchild, Halua kicked you in the next week. I don't know. I don't know. They know what they're doing with him. You know.
I think they do. I think they played right into it. He's the young guy. He's going to make some mistakes, and he's all energy, no thought, and he's going to get caught from time to time. But as long as it's guys like Sammy, that's okay. But if he's losing to fucking I don't even know who I would pick at the moment. Maybe who's it, JD McCullough, somebody like that. Like, okay, what are we doing?
Right.
I think you should have Braun versus Braun.
For the name Braun, and then Braun Breaker loses and has to come back as the Steiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you want to keep it cheesy, call him Frank Nicholas Steiner.
Yeah. Because I've noticed they've been referring more to his dad and shit, like a lot more than it was, because he was, I'm not this, I'm blah blah blah.
Well, last week's Legends on AMC was about the Steiner brothers,
but he's kind of embracing it too, with like the Frankensteiner and shit like that. Like,
yes, so that was when we talk about the men's, or no, not the men's. When did he do it on? He did it in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then and they called it out. Like, it made me feel.
I think twice now he's done it, and they've called it out. I think on a Raw and then Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we had the Scottish Psychopath. He won Money in the Bank, and the match was awesome. Like, there were times I didn't know who was going to win. Was it going to be Jay? Was it going to be Chad? Was it going to be Drew? And Drew won, so we knew he was cashing in. Like, that was a given. He already said he was going to. And I just feel like, so obviously now they're going to try to do it for not the title. But when Drew talks about Raw, I kind of like what they did with Campion and Seth. But I don't know. It was a great match. Drew's just going to be more.
Did you see when he freaking harpooned Jey Uso with the ladder at the end?
Oh,
that
yeah.
was amazing. I was like, oh, my God, he just killed somebody.
I feel like they missed an opportunity for a Wyatt.
How about Gable doing the free hanging?
Oh, that was cool, too.
Landing on the
Dude,
side.
I was like, oh, man. I was like, he's going to blow an ACL. Like, oh.
That's
but they missed a huge opportunity to do something with the Wyatts, with Gable in the ring.
Yes.
Like, huge opportunity. That was like the perfect thing. Just, we were talking about in chat, just fucking everything goes out, it's whatever, and just have him gone, and just gone for the rest of the match. Just poof, gone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
People know, but they don't know, but they know, but they don't know. So it would just, it was the perfect opportunity for it. So, like, in my opinion,
that would have been great.
That opportunity to
then
further that storyline.
Then bring out Alpha Academy and be like, hey, we want to talk to Cat. We think we want to mend fences, and he's not there.
Yeah.
So the final word for Money in the Bank is that Chad Gable and Jey Uso were the only two competitors at this year's Money in the Bank to have never taken part in a ladder match in singles competition.
Wow.
Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins has only happened once before.
Not even Jay? That's weird that he's never been in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Huh.
The selling of Jacob Fatu like he's Conair Cyrus the Virus is working great. Carmelo Hayes' Toronto Raptors ring was fire. Did you guys see the sign? Because I had to go back and look, but the Pooh McIntyre sign?
No,
I didn't see that.
that's fantastic.
No.
Yeah. And then the Frankensteiner that we were just talking about was Wrestling Observer Newsletter's Move of the Year in both 1989 and 1990.
Back to back.
The ice, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like the IC Championship has only changed hands once at Money in the Bank when Shinsuke defeated Finn Balor in 2019.
Yikes.
And the last note, which I completely agree with, is the montage before John Cena's last match is going to be biblical.
Oh, it could be an hour.
Yeah.
It could be an hour and probably get an Academy Award. Are you kidding me? Like, holy crap.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Not yet.
What? No.
Something tells me he'll be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Not 25, maybe 26 as soon as he's done.
Yeah.
I don't know. They put Undertaker in right before his last match.
Wasn't that under the Vince era?
Right. But I don't
Everything's changed, boy.
Hey, I
The
just want to bring up
landscape changed.
one more loser at Money in the Bank, and that's Zoe Starks wearing blue when she's on the red brand. Come on, loser. What are you
Oh,
doing?
here we go.
Chelsea
Well,
gets
Chelsea-
a pass because she's Canadian.
Yeah,
I
but
was going to say
Zoe,
you're about to talk about her.
Zoe
So-
took that shot to the dome, man. That was
Oh my God. That brainbuster onto the ladder. Oh my God.
I do enjoy how fucking EO just stayed folded up for like
Yeah.
the rest of the match.
I thought
Like,
you died, dude. I literally
I
thought you
was like, where'd she go?
Yeah,
Just
no,
hold
she
it.
just like
Hold
she
the match.
landed, folded backwards, and then eventually just rolled out of the ring.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
She's like,
So-
they got it.
Before we move on to just like a quick highlight thing about NXT Heatwave, I wanted to pick your guys' brains on how everyone feels about what they did with the men's Money in the Bank title shot. Like, a quick overview of it for me. I only think that is a good idea what they did if everything that they have planned for both titles for the remainder of the year is rock solid awesome. And if it's not and they blew a good opportunity, then it's for somebody else, it's like, oh, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think considering how long he held the Money in the Bank last year, he had it for almost a whole year, I think, before he cashed in. So I'm okay with the contrast of it being that night, only because I don't know how many times he got it same night. Honestly, I'd have to look, but
Mox or
Mox.
Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
I think he's the only person who did it.
But I'm good with it because it also feeds into that top heavy ride for that belt. That belt's going to be. I feel like that's the better belt of the two championships right now because I feel like the one on SmackDown is just bogged down by Cody Bloodline. It's just like, okay, we're going to get more of this. Where I feel like there's more guys clawing and vying for it that legitimately feel like that they could win it, and it keeps us double guessing and thinking and craving and coming back for it. That's what I like.
Right. Because, ultimately, we all know that, Priest he's just placeholding right now.
I don't even know if he's placeholding. He might just be a cog in, like I said, in the storytelling, like people constantly leapfrogging, undermining, double cross. Like, I don't know, man. I really enjoy what's going on with the Raw Championship scene.
How do you guys feel about it? Joe? Todd?
I agree with Drew. Like having to like the contrast like that, because and the inverse to you, like I hate them trying to tell a story with having the story of like the Vulture is going to pop in at any given time and just completely change it. I like the slow build up. I like to, all right, it's been cashed in. Now he's going to have a beef with the person who just held the championship. Then he's going to have a beef with who. And so it's all there without having to worry about, like, the last time I feel like it worked really, really well is when Rollins cashed in at Mania. Like, because by the time that match happened, I wasn't even thinking about Rollins having the briefcase because there was like you didn't even think about it, and it to recreate that is going to be very, very hard, But before we go on the next segment, let me run the commercial.
Have you ever found yourself in the need for some screen printing? What about some vinyl work? Well, we have the spot for you. Seasonal Sports, 215 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Has all your needs. Go see Fred at Seasonal Sports.
Yeah. And normally I enjoy longer waits with Money in the Bank, but I'm also enjoying this Punk Drew storyline. So I like that it happened like that.
It's printing money.
Oh, yeah. But they're both doing a fantastic job.
Right.
Like, it is an intense storyline that actually it's not just some cheesy shit like, oh, I fucking brought Punk back and they're just whatevering him. Like, it's fucking and it's like now it's branching out a little bit with like Seth, but not too crazy with Seth, but just enough to be like, well, somewhere down the road it's gonna be these two, but that's not going to be for a bit. That's cool. Let this whole Drew thing play out because they do fucking, Punk has always been very good on the microphone. And
it's his thing.
Drew, Drew has gotten better, but it's like I said the other day joking about whatever, but like kind of serious. Like it seems like whatever Punk has in him also does help the other person like bring out a better of them. Like you could tell like the whatever with Seth, like it's very like, and they play each other off each other really well, but it's like that little whatever that Punk has that only a certain handful of wrestlers actually have, like helps that other person be like, okay, I can fucking shoot back and it's CM Punk, so I'm going to expect this back, and then we're going to, and it's what to expect, but it's always awesome.
I'm sure there's a better example, but like Edge and Matt Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Todd, here's actually a two-part. One question directly for Todd, and then the next for everybody else. One. So you said with it'll be Seth and Punk. Do you think that at some point it might actually just be like the three of them in like a triangle feud?
I personally would not like to see that. I would like to see their own separate, because to me it's a situation where their own separate ones, you'll be pulling from one if you have three people. So somebody is going to lose kind of like gravity from it because you're trying to, and people are going to focus on two compared to three. It's just kind of the way it works, and just the way
it would be Drew that lost the gravity in that 100%.
But it's
here's my other question. Right. So now here's my question for everybody. With the feud between them, right? Now we've seen feuds. We've seen people change in feuds. The most infamous is obviously Bret Hart and Stone Cold, right? Where they literally changed from face to heel in the match. It was the most, you're never going to see anything more epic than that, right? But in this feud, right, neither one was a face, neither one was a heel. And now, Punk has his own group of people, and there might be people who like Drew more, but Punk has been more of the actual aggressor in this feud. Why do we see more signs against Drew, and more cheers for Punk and less for Drew when Punk is the aggressor. Like, he might have been dangling the belt in his face and starting with him a little bit, but then he attacked Drew, and then he cost Drew the match the next night as well. And then so for what Drew's gonna get to, it's like he's like, oh, you're actually to have consequences. But he started it more. So I'm just wondering what you guys think about the crowd psychology behind that.
So like I've kind of taken it the whole time the opposite, that Drew's been the aggressor and Drew's the heel in this. Like, I think if we go back, it was Drew that initially instigated it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was like dangling the belt in front of him.
Right, but that's why the crowd's reacting why they are, because Punk's the face of this. He's the good guy. He was getting revenge on the bully, the psychopath, who's been like ripping through people, fighting his boss, everything else, when Punk was gone for most of that. And then he comes back. So now he's getting back. He's getting his revenge. Like, I'm not seeing it as Punk as the aggressor. I see Punk as getting back at the guy who's been fucking with him.
I feel like in this, it didn't matter what position CM Punk was going to be in. CM Punk was going to be over face, heel, tweener, whatever label you want to put on. That guy was going to just be the man, okay? He feels kind of like almost Razor Ramon. He's almost, I said almost, okay? He's like just too cool. I feel that like people are just gonna like him.
Yeah,
he's not Razor Ramon. He's Razor Ramon like. I just want that to be clear. No one's supposed to back.
Drew had kind of been a bitch boy for a while before Punk even came back, and was just being a douche. So I feel like Punk is like not the aggressor. I feel like he's a heel face. A haste, whatever you want to call it, because people like him, but he's still kind of an asshole. But it's fun to see him be an asshole. You're not like kind of like, oh, what a dick. You're just like, what an asshole. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the clip or if I even sent it. Like, the one SmackDown that he showed, or that Cody showed up with the bat and shit like that and whatever. Like after like went off, like they were leaving and it shows like Punk like fucking chasing him and shit. Like. Yeah, he's just that fucking goofy old guy now that just is, like living it.
A lot of the guys are getting to that, like the stuff that like Randy does now too. You know what I mean? The guys that are in their 40s and like well into their 40s, like Punk and like Orton and all them, they're just having. They're at the dance and they're having fun.
Yeah,
So I get that part, but I was mainly just trying to get behind the everyone else's psychology. I'm possibly looking at it different as like the writer style of it. So you never know. Anyways, NXT is all ego, guys.
Yes,
are you telling me that dude won the belt? I'm stoked on him.
He won by accident.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It wasn't a. I didn't know until I just saw the recap on NXT.
It was so great that Drew just froze.
Great match.
So great. He's froze again. So, but no, first off, all of NXT Heatwave was excellent. It was great. Okay, I know we don't want to take up like all of that. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. A lot happened this week, but NXT was great. Ethan Page, new champ. It's going to be awesome. But then also, because he keeps showing up, let's go right down to here. Is Joe Hendry the next big thing?
Oh yeah, he's a powder keg ready to explode.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. 'Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo. Scotland and Canada and Mexico.
Well, much like the Raw rundown, now I'm going to need Joe to do that every show. So yes, that was awesome. Joe Hendry doing his thing everywhere. Now it feels like this dude might, like you said, he's the powder keg. He's waiting to explode. He's ready to go. You know, his picture shows up, right? Ethan Page wins the belt by accident. The show goes off. Joe Hendry's face shows, and that was as large of an article as the accidental win of that. It's the dude's ready to burst.
Oh my God. He is the perfect guy at the right time, but WWE has new guy we're the Paul Levesque era, and I can't even get the words out. It is going to be exciting when he
Paul Levesque era. Paul Levesque era.
Paulus.
Sorry, Drew, are we ready for the rundown?
So now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
I wouldn't say that.
It's the best part of the show. Wrong
screen.
Rundown.
I get the whole screen, fellas. Come on. Dude, Canada loves CM Punk because he's the best in the world. Calling out my boy Drew, saying he's the Scottish keyboard warrior. LMAO, baby. Okay, then we're moving on to a Jack Tunney reference. Holy crap, is it the early 90s, baby? Come on, what are we doing here? I've already used baby too much. And then we got Seth freaking Rollins. Dude, my guy, again, those heels, I get it. You're doing your thing. For the love of God, you're almost like CM Punk, okay? You're almost too fragile, which is funny that you called him out in the promo, but I don't want either of you guys doing anything dumb to get hurt. We need you in the wrestling ring. Also, what was that outfit? I don't know if anyone else here knows who Peter Gabriel is or the song Sledgehammer, but he looked like the dude straight up out of that video, okay? You go ahead and you take a look at it. That was the first thing I thought of. Then we had Jay versus Chad. I'm not getting tired of this. We get it. Hook, line, and sinker. They're doing the same thing. He wins. And he tweets his way out of the arena. And by tweet, that's supposed to be yeet. My phone changed it when I was putting the notes, and I didn't notice it. So he yeets his way out of the arena, leaving Wyatt. Changed 6 to socks. Come on, what are we doing here? My phone? Jeez. And then we had another VHS. What? Again? Come on, we get it. It's getting creepy, okay? And then we had 15 years of Sheamus. Holy cow. I cannot believe that. Then we had Dunn versus Reed. Wow, Reed won. And then we had Sheamus save Dunn. And Dunn's done with Sheamus. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Then we had Damien and Seth reloading. Dude shaking hands. Kissing babies. Not yet. But they're going to be fighting each other again. Book it. Book it. Okay? Damien. Who that on the phone? Don't worry. We all know who it is. And then we had Zayn. He's kind of a big deal in Canada, right? I don't know why. Anyways, we had Dragunov for the rescue. And then we had a 6-man tag. Awesome Truth versus JD and Judgment Day and Carlito. Again, what are we doing here? It's almost the same stuff every week. Come on, let's change it up, Paul. And then these Judgment Day segments on the other side of the coin have been getting very good. So the guys peek their heads out. Who do they see? They see Liv Morgan. She's got Daddy's legs over her shoulder. And it's just a hilarious scene. We need more of that, please, please, please. Carlito is so good. Keep him around. Don't let him leave. Gable needs a vacay. Guy kind of earned it. Plus, White Six is kind of picking on him. Bo in Pierce's office. More to come. I should have taken that out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm taking that out. Then we had Sammy with injured ribs. Comes out. He's throwing haymakers. Braun ends up getting the best of Sammy and Dragunov because they were in a match. Then we had a 6-woman tag match. Carter and Chance wearing blue. Come on, you're on Raw. Be wearing red. Rep your team. Then that's why they lost. Okay? And then Damage Control controlled the damage being dealt. And then after that, new women's trio. I'm kind of excited by it. I'm getting the gist here. I'm on board. Then we've got Mysterio versus Mysterio. Again, kind of like Jay and Chad. It's getting old. We got to change it up a little bit. And unfortunately, that phone call to Damien earlier in the night was MAMI. but was that the most lackluster return in the history of wrestling? And that's been the Raw Rundown.
So I feel like back in the day, if you guys remember, Raw would always go to like 11:05, 11:07.
Yep.
And it like stopped at fucking 11 o'clock. Like if like the camera guy was like scrambling to get in the fucking ring and shit. Like,
oh my God, it was horrible.
I'm wondering if the match ran too long or if they were like, oh, fucking USA is stopping us at 11 o'clock. So we got to get the fuck out there and just don't even do your normal shit. Just fucking walk out and go to the ring and or we're going to end it, you know, with, you know, him fucking being like, you know, like it just, it seemed like
I swear. I didn't do anything.
I forgot about the whole like 2 to 7 minutes over thing. I forgot about like that was because it was only 2 hours then, so it was like it would go. All of a sudden you'd be looking, you're like, it's 10:07. There's Austin's still beating everybody up. Like, what is happening? Like, you know, it was great.
Right.
yeah, no,
It might change at Netflix. That might change at Netflix.
yeah, it definitely will. And I was
I'm so
wondering,
excited.
like, is there? I said this to my girlfriend. I'm like, is there going to be like commercials because it's on Netflix? Like, I've never watched anything live on Netflix. So
I
will
would
it
be-
what's that?
I would bet sponsors. Like, not you're not gonna. It's not gonna be commercials in the traditional sense.
So you won't see like a local Ford dealership commercial.
Yeah,
It'll
you're
be
gonna
like
see
Amazon.
like you're gonna see Snickers. You're gonna see whatever whatever.
I got a feeling it's gonna be like watching Hulu.
Yeah. It'll Prime. It will be on there. Just probably smaller things to help, especially if it's live, to help fill the time that they're used to having, because they have to reevaluate how they're going to do everything. That's a lot. They use that time. So
no, we can't have more wrestling. What are you talking about?
That would make more sense. More matches.
And does anybody else hope that Raw goes back to 2 hours once it switches?
I do, but it won't.
No, they won't.
They make too much money.
Yeah. And now they are actually starting to build up content, like the Wyatt Sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the Wyatt Sticks. Oh, hang on. No, I don't want to do
I see what you did. I see what you did there, Charles Sparkley.
I muted him by accident. Hang on.
You muted him?
You can't mute Zol.
Don't mute me, boy.
I was trying to do this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my report. See you later. No, the Wyatt Six. It's getting better and better. Now, of course, it was the classic, power goes out. And like Drew mentioned, Jay fucking just kind of like, it was great. He just kind of looked around real quick, was like, yeet, and just fucking gone. Part of me was like, will they get him? Would I mind if they got him or threw him into the mix with this? I think it'd be interesting. I think they could hold the Firefly thing against him, but he didn't, So, of course, Chad, Smoke, Sister Abigail, another box with a VHS tape in it. So this one was more Bo. I'm assuming that's his name when he's not Uncle Howdy. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'd be cool if he went by Taylor, but, I'm assuming it's going to be Bo. More just talking to Uncle Howdy, answering questions, but then it revealed every member except I didn't remember seeing like Sister Abigail get revealed as like Nikki Cross. I just remember the other ones getting like revealed as who they actually are. And did I miss something? Did I not remember what Dexter Loomis looks like? Because when they showed what I thought was his character, it did not really look like him, but I haven't seen him in a while.
It was Bo's face that they were superimposing over it.
Really? Because all the other ones you could see.
So, they all looked like they were Bo to me. I thought maybe I was wrong, but it looked like
No, because Gacy, like, look, it was him. Like, when they showed his face, I was like, yeah, that's who I thought it was. Like, it was a dude that used to be
Well,
in
I
that
heard
Schism.
Loomis either shaved or grew a beard out instead of just a mustache.
That's what I'm wondering, because whoever they showed had like a beard, like not
I
like
think
the
Loomis
bow
grew
beard,
his.
like but it just kind of know. But it's, and then of course, yeah, Chad Gable, talking to Pierce, and I need a vacation. The why I love Pierce's response, like, whatever, think about why they're after you, like just like. And then, opening the door, seeing Bo sitting there, he just goes in kind of willingly. But that's all you hear. Nothing else the rest of the night. That's it, which is cool. Like, I like that because they're leaving people to be like, okay, I got to come back again. Like, I got to make sure I'm watching. It was Friday, you never know, but definitely next Monday. Like, they're doing it very well. And now that they're like revealing the characters, I feel that's setting something up, hopefully, for like some sort of maybe SummerSlam match with somebody. Now that they're kind of being like, okay, here's who it is. So now that's how they're going to wrestle, and you're not going to be thinking, fucking Rowan's going to be wearing a fucking rabbit mat. Like it was the introduction of like, these are who the characters are. So I feel like now that's like on the path to matches, because now for sure that's who it is. So now it's like, now we can reveal them for a match. We can set them up with feuds because now you kind of know a little bit more. I hope they don't beat this thing to death with the tapes, because if they go, in my opinion, they do it more than like 2 times after this, you're going to probably start to lose some interest. Like, it's cool to do what they're doing.
We're done with the tapes now. I think we're done with the tapes now because now you see Bo Dallas in Pierce's office.
Right.
So I think it's gotten us to where it's
that's perfect. That was a perfect amount.
Yes, I think we're getting chunks.
And I don't know if I did. I don't know if I consciously like didn't make the connection, but like I was watching it with Blake, and Blake goes, "Holy crap! He really, really looks like Bray." And like, just because I've seen Bo Dallas gradually like grow the facial hair out in like interviews and everything, so it didn't really like set in, but like he really, really does look like Bray now, and like he's changed, like almost he's starting to change the inflection to his voice. Like he really does sound like your Swamp King Bray. And now that connection's made, it like even gives me more like tingles. Like I'm almost like, wow, it's almost like Bray's spirits embodying Bo Dallas. Like I'm so on board for this. I can't wait to see them wrestle. I can't wait for them to like kill Chad Gable. Like it's gonna be great. Like
I love Chad Gable. That's all.
I love him
I
too.
love Chad Gable too. But
Well,
I
and then
just
there
feel
was,
like
there was Chad talking to the Creed brothers and shit in the background
Yes,
of one of the interviews during Raw.
yeah.
So I mean, eventually, will it be? And if they make it like him and like the Creed brothers versus the Wyatt Six, like I'm not going to be happy with it, because there are so many other people that should and could be like doing that I'd say kind of like deserve it more than like somebody who just got there. Like this is something that's been a long time coming that we almost got, and unfortunate events happened and we didn't get it. Now it's kind of back, and it's a full head of steam, and it's doing really well. And it's just like, if you match them up with the wrong people off the bat, you're going to just deflate everything you've been doing for however many months. Like, you have to make sure, Chad, like, I'm cool with that. It makes sense. They're kind of going after like the bully at this point in time. Hopefully they'll go after the hero at some point in time to show they're not favoring one or the other. But that's where it'd be good if they went after Jay, because he is the good guy. Everybody loves him. And then you have them take him out. It shows like we're not fucking on either side. We are, who we want to destroy is who we're going to destroy.
Chaotic.
Yeah. But if they if they book that wrong and they just kill it right off the bat, it's gonna suck because, like Joe said, man, like I'm excited for it. Like it's been a long time to be like genuinely excited for wrestling because it's been the shit era, literally and figuratively. And
I see what you did there.
Now that we're at, like the Paul Levesque Attitude Era 2.0 kind of deal, especially Netflix, like I think it's going to go like full fucking Attitude Era shit.
I agree.
Like it's just
somebody's going to be bleeding every Monday.
Hopefully it's not fucking Dean Ambrose. They're going to bring him back just so he can bleed every week.
I would love like if you don't have OG Bloodline come back to take out this new Bloodline, you have the Shield come back to take out the Bloodline. That would be fucking epic. And then Roman realizing this was his real family all along. Call me, Paul.
Todd, I definitely agree. The one thing I really loved was particularly the way that they shot Bo in the door, the way the door opened, the way he's sitting, the way he looks up and smiles, and then he steps in and the door shuts.
Yeah,
like that shot was perfect. It was so good, and it's like even if somehow you weren't excited, I guarantee you were excited by now. Like if you couldn't been, I don't know how you couldn't be. It's gonna be awesome.
Wasn't Adam Pearce one of those like first people that were like killed in that initial thing?
I don't remember. I think there was so much that started going back and forth.
I almost feel like I remember reading something about it. And him like sending a tweet or something out like the next day, oh hey, I'm fine, blah blah blah. But what if Adam Pearce is like brainwashed or whatever and is working for Uncle Howdy?
Or they could pull a full Vince and Adam's the fucking leader of all of it.
Yeah.
The six Wyatt.
He could be the six. You're saying
the only person leader-wise that it should be if there's somebody that's above Uncle Howdy, if the actual six member is a physical person, the only person that makes sense, Undertaker. That's it. Is like a leader that's going to come in. It's not wrestling at all. It's only Undertaker.
He's so far away
from
IRS. He's so far away from like the dead man persona that it kind of wouldn't make sense now. If he's still like really
IRS come back as Papa Wyatt, or it's Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
actually, that wouldn't be too bad, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, because then you could pull in the women's tag to them too, if you're gonna put belts on them, which I'm not sure if you're ever gonna need it.
I don't think they need belts. I mean, they'll probably get some at some point, but they're so far beyond that.
Yeah. I think with like high gimmick stuff, you don't need it.
No, yeah, I agree.
I think they need to learn the lesson because Bray didn't need it when he got it, and I think that killed the momentum that his story had, that his character had. It wasn't a good run. And Bray's awesome, and all of his ideas are awesome, but that wasn't good.
I do.
So other than that, the FBI is all elite because somebody turned them in for doxing, which is weird. And then that person also deleted their Twitter handle after that. So who knows what the hell is going on? It's so crazy. I mean, Punk even took a dig at them and said, "Hey, there's people on that side of the camera. I'll fight them over there." Like that's a hard burn. That's a harsh burn right there. What's up?
Yes, sir.
I wanted to go back real quick. Sorry. That you talk about that shot with Bo Dallas is really good. Almost reminiscent in a way, like just being uniquely shot, is that when they had, what was it Jey Uso leaving the arena and he crossed paths with Sammy, and Sammy walked into the match,
and then Sammy walked in the
same, almost in that same vein, was like, man, can we get a little bit more of this, please? This is This is good.
Perfect cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever's thinking up those shots is a genius. Give that person a raise.
Facts.
So, does anyone have anything else? 'Cause I do.
I do.
No. It's all the local stuff. If you're in town, if you're anywhere around where we are, not you, Drew, that
You can come visit us. We wouldn't
this
mind that.
weekend ICW is going to be at the Nexus Center in Utica, and Minoru Suzuki is going to be there wrestling Mike Skyros, a buddy of the show here, and it's going to be incredible. I cannot wait. Everything else, the entire card is stacked. This is always their biggest show of the year, the one that happens in July. So it's going to be fantastic. And so if you even need to, hit me up for tickets or go online and check them out. Also, watch UWE Ultimate on YouTube. Episode 7 is out now. If you want to see our titles, we have our own titles and champions. It's awesome. Check it out. That's it. Oh, see, UW. So yeah,
Right on.
that's it for me. I think Joe's tricks have caught up with him. I think.
I want to say screen froze. I hope it's screen froze.
Joe's like, who's Joe?
Monday. I'm Big Daddy Stones, motherfucker.
No,
It should
you're
be
Big Daddy
Stone.
Stone is what you are.
Yeah. We're like Big Daddy Wrecking Ball.
Mondays, the Todd and Joe Morning Show. Tuesdays, this here. Wednesdays, we have Masterpiece Movie Theater. And what are we talking about this week, Garrett?
What are we talking about?
Tomorrow's episode is Mom and Dad Save the World.
Ooh, wow. He's followed a never-ending story with that. I like it, Garrett. Ooh. And then Thursdays, if I have time, Weekly Bugle. And
Yeah, I
Friday,
need the Weekly Bugle, Joe. I need
a
it.
big week too.
You have to do it. Only for me.
I'll do my best. Work's been a little busy lately.
I know.
And then, like Garrett said, Saturday Nexus Center. ICW, go watch the UWE stuff. Follow, like, share, take your pants off. Do whatever you want to do, guys.
Todd already did.
Keep it gangster.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
I don't wear pants.
Aha.